In this video, I'm going to give you a no BS monk mode guide that I've used several times in the past and will continue to use in the future. This guide is going to allow you to get ahead of 99% of people. I'm going to have to warn you though, getting ahead of the 99% and joining the 1% is not easy. But if you're serious about becoming a part of the 1% that's actually achieving their dreams, this video was made for you. Now, I'm assuming everyone who's clicked on this video already knows what monk mode is at a basic level, so I'm gonna skip explaining this. But if you don't know what monk mode already is, I recommend you click the card on screen now and watch that video first, then come back to this one after. But who am I? Why should you even listen to me? Well, I've done several monk modes in the past, and to be completely transparent, more often than not, I quit midway through most of them because I wasn't serious enough and I didn't have a strong enough reason as to why I was even doing monk mode in the first place before I started. After quitting monk mode multiple times though, I realized that the mistake I often made that caused me to quit was going into monk mode blind, without any plan, which would more often than not result in me going back to my old ways. And to avoid this for future monk modes, I created a 5-step plan that I write down every time I do a new monk mode. I designed this 5-step plan to specifically help me have consistently successful monk modes and accomplish my goals. This plan that I'm about to show you is going to help you do the exact same thing, so get ready. But before you start even doing anything, the first step you need to do is to determine, what do you want? What is your goal? What do you hope to achieve by doing this monk mode? Do you want to quit watching corn and go on nofap? Do you want to figure out how to start making 5 to 10K a month passively? Do you want to finally lock in, start going to the gym, and start taking steps to get your dream body? What do you want? Because if you start monk mode without any goal and without any vision of why you're even doing these things, it's only a matter of time until you quit. And I'm speaking from experience here, guys. You need a goal that is completely worth working towards, that justifies you sacrificing who you currently are, so you can become who you feel you're ultimately meant to be. And if you're feeling confident, you can also break this down into one main goal that you're looking to achieve, and 2 or 3 side goals that you'd also like to achieve during this monk mode. But only do this if you're confident you can achieve your main goal. Ideally, you want your side goals to be related to your main goal, so everything is connected. But at the end of the day, your side goals are completely optional, and you don't want to make side goals that will ultimately distract you from achieving your main goal. Once you figure out your main goal and your optional side goals, you want to get a piece of paper and write this down under main goal and side goals. Now, the second step you want to include in your plan involves deciding how long you want to do this monk mode for. Personally, I recommend doing it in 30-day intervals. Anything shorter usually doesn't give you enough time to create new habits, and anything longer usually ends up making you feel burnt out. 30 days, in my opinion, is the sweet spot for this, because it will challenge you to overcome your old habits, and it will give you just enough time to start habitualizing your new habits. Once you figure out how much time you want this monk mode to be for, write this down under time on your sheet of paper. And if you have any brief questions, put them in the comments below. And if you're really serious and you want me to personally help you with any issues you may be having in your life, sign up for one-on-one coaching with me. Also, make sure to download my free ebook that I made to specifically help you navigate and understand the 10 secret stages of success you'll 100% be going through on the way to achieving your goals. You can find both of these in the description and the pinned comments down below. The third step that you need to do after deciding that you want to do monk mode is creating a compelling reason why you're doing monk mode in the first place. You need to create a reason that gets you emotional, gets you excited, gets you motivated, but more than anything, gets you invested in your reason why. And guys, I know this may not seem that important, but this step right here is super important. What you need to understand is that whatever you get emotional about, you become attached to. And to prove this, just take a second to remember a couple of important events in your life. What is it that makes you remember those events? And what is it that makes you forget everything in between? If you pay attention, you'll realize that it's the strong emotional bond that's attached to those events. And to go a step further, think about the movies and TV shows that you love. and that you could binge watch over and over. Why are you so attached to these? You might think it's the stories or the characters or the world building, which is all true, but beneath it all, it's because these movies and these TV shows that you love made you feel something. You remember and you love all of these things because of your emotional attachment to them. This is why using your emotions is so powerful. So when you're thinking about and creating your compelling reason why, really think about this. Imagine it, feel it, embody it. And after you've come up with your compelling reason why, of course, make sure to write it down under why am I doing this on your sheet of paper. Now the fourth step involves cutting out your distractions and pasting in new actions. And to be clear, when I say cut out your distractions, I'm not saying all of them. And the reason for this is, of course, it's good to have some distractions. I mean, it's common sense, but if you're working all day, you're gonna go insane. Personally, I like to take an 80-20 approach to this. And if you don't know what the 80-20 principle is, in short, it talks about 80% of results coming from 20% of actions. So if we apply this to what we want to eliminate, you want to eliminate the 20% of actions that are contributing to 80% of your distractions. And obviously, everyone's main distractions will be different. For some people, it could be corn. For others, it could be gaming. Others, it could be going out with friends, social media usage, YouTube videos, etc. The point is, you have to figure out what these distractions are for you and really determine how much of an effect they've been having on you. If you can easily see that this is something that is taking up a lot of time in your day that you could be using in a much better way, it's probably something you should cut out for this duration of monk mode. By doing this, you will create a noticeable void in your life that will cause you to feel boredom. And pro tip, you're going to need to get comfortable with this boredom, but it won't last forever. In my personal experience, after a week or two, this boredom feeling will go away. So for most of you, you should expect to be going through the same thing. After a week or two, you'll no longer feel that bored feeling. That void you previously creating by cutting out all your distractions has been replaced with new actions. That's right, along with cutting out your distractions, you're going to need to decide what actions you want to replace the distractions you've cut out with during this monk mode. That will move you in the direction of your main goal. Personally, I recommend that for every distraction you cut out, you replace it with an action. Obviously, the actions you choose will depend on the main goal you set for yourself in step 1. For example, if your main goal for this monk mode is to increase your income, with one side goal of establishing a positive, consistent gym routine, and another side goal of practicing nofap, while also deciding that you want to dedicate 30 days to this monk mode, and you have your compelling reason why you're doing this set, your monk mode might look like you cutting out or limiting all forms of social media, going out with friends more than twice a week, limiting junk food to once per week or none at all, limiting gaming to 1 hour per day, and staying away from any sites that could trigger the urge in you to watch porn and masturbate. And in terms of the actions you might want to replace these with, you might decide to start reading books and watching videos about wealth for 2 hours or more a day, going to the gym 3 or more days a week, meal prepping all of your meals so as to eliminate the temptation to eat out often, and blacklisting any sites that give you the urge to watch porn. Of course, this is just an example of what your monk mode might look like. As you do this more and more, the right distractions and the right actions will come to you to get you where you need to go. And of course, after you've come up with the specific distractions and the specific actions you want to implement, make sure to write these all down under actions and distractions on your sheet of paper. Once you've thought of and written down your goal, time, reason why, actions and distractions all on the same paper, you're now going to look it over and make sure you're cool with everything on that page, guys, because once you decide that you're cool with it, you're gonna sign it with your signature. Yeah, it's about to get real, because for the duration of this monk mode, you're gonna be keeping this paper in front of you, or at least somewhere you'll often see it for as long as you're doing this monk mode for. This will hold you accountable and motivate you. It will also tenfold your chances of sticking to the plan you've set for yourself for the duration of this monk mode, especially when that inevitable urge comes up that tells you that you don't need to do this. that there's no point to doing this. The difference for you though is that when this happens, you're gonna have something in front of you that tells you why you're doing this, tells you what you're doing this for, and tells you what your goal is and what you hope to accomplish. So when this feeling inevitably comes, you'll have something that automatically allows you to fight back. Finally, at the end of your monk mode, you're going to want to do a review that will help you to eventually perfect the process of your monk mode and ultimately help you increase your growth. In your review, you're going to want to go over what went well, what didn't go so well, how you can make it better next time, and whether you want to extend this monk mode and go for another 30 days. And as always, of course, write these questions and answers down. Now, doing monk mode and getting ahead of the 99% of people is not easy. I get it, guys. And I know you're probably wondering whether you'll even be able to follow through with something like this. That's why your next step is to watch this video, where I go over the concept of habits and routines, and how consciously using these in your life will allow you to follow through with anything